During this 45 minutes, I have so much to share with you, and mainly I am going to talk about what is the quantum energy, what is the scalar electromagnetics, what is radionics, as well as how we can use frequency in healing. That will be my another topic. So that will be in the afternoon. So yesterday I supposed to speak, but because of the time, I am speaking my delivering my speech today. And also I am going to share with you so much information that what's going on around the world. That's research has been going in China. It's a very big, huge research done by the doctors, and around the world as well as in India, what we are doing, and the thing behind it, how the technology works for this science. Mainly we call it SE 51000, but I will show you later on. So first I want to share you what is the science behind it, because that's very important, because you must have some foundation before you understand the technology. Like in medical science, they teach anatomy, all the different lectures, and then you have your foundation. So I think the foundation is very important. Then we must go to, I'll raise your vibration at certain level, and after that you can all go through it. So the future of quantum medicine. So I really like this quote from Plato. He says, those that are able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed by the masses. Okay, so this is all you guys. And have you heard about, have you seen, anyone seen the Matrix movie? Has anyone? The blue pill and a red pill. So you all have the red pills and you just wake up, and then you have the technology. So let us not force people, let them have their red pill one day, and then they can aware, oh, what is going on, what the awareness. So that's it. So what is a quantum medicine? Quantum medicine uses the principle of quantum physics, such as the non-locality, tangled, hierarchy, and discontinuous leap in consciousness, to better understand medicine. As I put this this slide yesterday night, because as we are speaking about the quantum conference. So I asked Madam Jacqueline if I can share your laser pointer. So if you don't mind, if you can, because I don't have. Otherwise I don't have to go every time here. So let's speak about the rise of invention. So it's 2 million BC, the Stone Age came, and from the 19 BC, the water wheel, it came in the picture, and from 1843, the steam engine, and after that, the electrical engineering and the automobile, and the graph keeps going up. So this is how, what's the technical invention of the rise of the invention. So the working with the subtle energy, it started already in 1900, and now it is. Okay, so this graph is keep going up. So the working of the subtle energy with the technology is started somewhere here, and many scientists has given their contribution. I will show in the next slide, but I have not put that subtle energy transition from the very basic to advanced, because that will come in the next slide. So this is the rise of the invention. Now next thing is accelerating the pace of change. So you can see in the graph, it goes like the before, the how the computer has developed, and they have like this Apple. It's not kind of the mini laptop, but it's kind of the how the technology has raised up. And they are here talking about the singularity. This is now it's a time to come in, replace the AI, artificial intelligence, that will surpass our intelligence, and from there it is going to take over. Now right now everybody is researching on this, but I like to say that AI is not that can replace our consciousness, because AI was built on the logic that is developed by human. It's plus and minus, built on the logic structure, and we are the spirits are built on the divine logic. Okay, so we use the logic structure, okay, but we don't build on it. We built for something different. We built our spirit built for divine structure. That is, it's again a big subject. But like AI is here in terms of our spirit, like divine spirit. AI works, and we are at way ahead. So this cannot, AI cannot surpass. It can help, but it cannot surpass our consciousness. Okay, so I think everybody agree with me on this. Yeah, but we can, what we can do is we can use the technology because it's a great thing, and we can use it for the higher work, and we must know how we can use it. So now this thing is already going on. Okay, the Internet of Things is already here. It shows this, and it shows everything is connected to internet. And believe me guys, that if today the internet is stopped, most of the humanity will go down. Right? Am I right? So, but what we do is we have to use the advantage of technology in our higher work. We don't have to debate with it. So that's how it is going on, and I will show you in my next slide how I developed the server and how the technology I made available for everyone. So there is so much thing is coming on. I hope I can finish in 45 minutes. There is so much thing to share with you. So let's see this. I need or I should keep this mic here. Let's see if I have audio. I have audio here, or I should. Yeah, I asked that man.
We need a new theory. And such a theory is what the physicists and mathematicians of quantum gravity research in Los Angeles are working on. They call it emergence theory, and it will, really for the first time ever, provide an explanation for the speed of light and the other constants, such as Planck's constant and the fine structure constant. A growing number of physicists are saying reality is made of information. What does that even mean? Well, information is meaning in the form of symbolism. A language or code provide this kind of information conveying symbolism. A very different type of symbol is one that represents itself. Geometric symbols can do that. A cube can represent love, if we say it does, or it can represent, really with minimal subjectivity, itself. Could there be a language or code made out of geometry? What type of information would such a language express? Quantum physics theory and classical physics indicate that reality is made of information, and there is no evidence that reality is made of anything other than information. Many physicists agree with this, and many don't. But those that don't agree that reality is made of information have no explanation for what reality is, if it's not information. Gentlemen?
Reality is made of information.
Nope.
Yes, it is made of information.
No.
Okay, so what is it made of if not information?
Energy.
Energy is information.
That's stupid.
Energy is the potential for a particle to change its position. Potential is information. Energy is information.
No.
It's information. Then what is it?
Not information.
Then what is it?
Not information.
So that's how the debate is going on. But I think you have some clues about it. What is reality and what is the information? So this is the basic on what we work with SE5, the information, not the energy, not the, let's say, any kind of electrical science, but it's a pure piece of information. Let me give you one example which came in my mind yesterday, that let's say when Rita Mahajan think of it, that she wants to do this WOQEM, she put a thought in the mind, and then how the reality, because it's the information she put out and then everybody is here. But I'll give you more explanation technically on this particular example. So that's we use in SFI. That's a pure information. Like there is a research has been done that observer can change the effect. So let's say, for example, you see the ant. There are so many ants going on. They are doing their daily work, like what they are doing every day. And suddenly you open the box and you see the ant, then suddenly they change. And they change their patterns. So that means the observer is changing the effect there. So next thing is information as a money. Of course, everybody knows that information can be used as money. We use money as like exchange of energy, the exchange of value. We are not exactly exchanging the money, but we are exchanging the values with it, whether it is in the form of let's say rupees, or maybe in the form of like in your bank account. Let's say for your credit card or your debit card, it's a information. You put it and they have information. If they change the information, you don't have the money in the bank. So everything is based on information, because if you have the information, you can do a lot of things with the information. Let's say one more example. Mark Zuckerberg, what he do actually? Can anyone tell me why he's so famous and why? Because Facebook. But Facebook is what? It's the information of the people. People are sharing the informations. So it depends on you how you use the information. With the information, you can change the reality. With the right information, that's important. So next thing is the money that's coming as a cryptocurrency, and that's how, like for example, my machine has did some work for 10 hours. I spend my energy, and then how they give me some numbers in a very simple way, like some code, and it's puts in the globally, so everyone knows that my machine has did some kind of work, and for that this is the reward. This is how very simple way to understand the Bitcoin. Now everything has its positive aspect as well as the negative aspect. Whatever we do, no matter what we invent or whatever we do in life, it has its positive as well as a negative impact, and that's the reality. We have to accept it. When I was in Indonesia, I see some ceremonies where people are like wearing the checkerboard. Like you can see this is the checkerboards. So when I ask what is it actually, why you are wearing this, so they say that every step in the life, it has a duality. Every step you take forward has a positive, and every step you take is a negative. So that's how it's their belief system. They don't debate it, they just live their customs. So that's why they represent in their ceremony that we live in the duality. So we don't have to debate about the negative aspect. We just pick the positive aspect of information, and we should do our work. So this is the instrument where the Bitcoin has been they generate the coins. But what is the information? Anyone can give me a little bit, because she did a lot of good explanation in his video. But what is information? So let's say I want to, let's image there is a space, a blank space in your mind where there is nothing. Okay, just image, just stretch your mind, is nothing. Just think there is nothing. Okay, I think everyone has imagined. And suddenly there is one dot is came from this nowhere in the space. It came in. So in my previous slide, I said the information can represent the meaning. It can be a color, it can be a sound, or it can be anything that has a meaning. So information, we can say it's a meaning to represent something. We should, like, it could be a laptop, or like information, or like anything. Like I say information mobile, it can represent the mobile, like that. So let's say this point has came out from the space, from nowhere, but because it has some relation with the space, there is a coherency with the space. So let's give us some name. That's 3. Now when we give the name, the meaning, it start attracting number 4 and number 5 to it. When you give the information, the gravitational force, because number 3 is related to number 4, and number 4 is the 5, and 3 is to 2. So it start attracting the things around it. It's creating the gravitational force to manifest other thing as well, not only just three. Okay, so in one prophet conference at Gimmick, one professor said that our thought has a gravitational force, and that's how we create the reality. That's how I given the example of Rita Mahajan. She put the thought of she wants to do the vacuum, and every one of you start relating to her, and that's how we are here just because of this one name. So it comes from the space. Let's say Rita Mahajan, it is her universe, a blank space, and the vacuum has came out, and everyone start coming in. So let's say this is called scalar. It's a gravitational force. In 1988, Albert Einstein has acknowledged it, and Nikola Tesla has did a lot of work. It is a kind of electromagnetic waves. We call it standing waves. I will explain you more on it. So it is actually been, there is a lot of research it's been doing, and everyone is using the scalar waves in their daily life. I will show some examples. So it's a gravitational force. It creates the gravity around it. So let's say this is dot again. Our dot is here, and because it is in single dimension, when it relates to number 4, it's come to second dimension. Okay, now to reach from 3 to 4, we need some vector. Vector is the energy which goes from point A to point B. Now let's say directional level, point A and point B. The vector is going, and this is a chart of the normal electromagnetic field. Everyone knows that we have a magnetic field and we have an electromagnetic field, but we also have a scalar electromagnetic field. So let's say that point A, when I am standing at point A and you are at point B, okay, so when I put some sound, because it's a rule in electromagnetic, the signal when it start from the source, it over the time it reduce, it goes down. So maybe you can hear me proper, but if I go far, people don't hear me. Maybe what you have listened to me is little bit lesser, the last row is listening to me. So what we do is we send the information, we collapse the information field, and we send the information. Now what I speak, let's say I speak number 4. So by the time it goes down, the signal, but the information is never lost. Number 4, the both people are listening the number 4. Right? Am I right? Are you getting with me the science? So the information never lost. And we use the information to travel with the scalar waves from point A to point B. And it is so fast that no matter, it's faster than light. I mean, if I say number 4 at point A, it's instantaneously at B it goes. So moment I insert number 4, the same time it appear here. Because the scalar wave doesn't decrease over the time, it keeps going on. So like this we send the scalar information point A to point B. So let's say mantra. Let's say I did some research on mantra. And what is a mantra? It is an information for your subconscious mind. But you don't know the meaning of the mantra, what it tries to say. So it doesn't represent you well. But when you say mantra to so you are giving the information to your subconscious mind to follow that information. Okay. For example, let's say this gazebo is made by the vacuum. So Rita Mahajan wants to make this gazebo, but does she made it? She come and she didn't do the fabrication work, right? Am I right? She didn't do it. She tell the labor to do it, and labor is our chi energy. We give the information, they work for us. So if you give the different plan, the labor don't know what's the reason behind it. They just follow the instruction, follow the information they get. Every cell in our body is keep receiving the information. I'll show you how the scalar waves. Scalar waves is like, I put my mic aside a bit. It's like this. When you collapse the field, it creates the scalar waves. So it has like, it's going like this. Yeah. So if you think that our DNA is also a scalar coil, and it receives the information from the divine. It's our antenna. It's our divine antenna which receives the information, and every DNA is unique. So if I choose your DNA, it goes to you, not to your neighbor. Another example, in our medical field, we use caduceus, the symbol. What's it? It's represent a scalar in olden times, because it shows us that going the energy is up by with the scalar field. Even our brain has a hemisphere. It also creates the scalar field between. So you think that if you have a if you know how to, there is a research done by Dr. Bob Beck. I'll show you in when I take the sound therapy presentation, that he was trained military US military people, where when you combine, when you know how to use both hemisphere together, you can send the message telepathically, or you can change the reality or a lot of things. So when you collapse the both hemisphere, like 7 hertz, you create the scalar. That's how why we do meditation and reduce the frequency. That's a big, but I don't want to go more detail on it. So here is the Professor Dr. Kosten in Mayl. He is the only professor in Germany who teach scalar electromagnetics at university level. Okay, and he teach it, and he did lot of invention how you can send electricity without wires to distance. I'll have that video, not in this, but I will show you that video in. So these are the boats which is moving in the pool, but they don't have electricity. They don't have a power supply. Yeah, no battery. No battery, no power supply. I'll show you the receiver. You can read it. The boat is receiving the power from the transmitter. I'll make it a little bit faster because the boat keeps going on, and they are receiving the from here. And Nikola Tesla has proved, he has proved that you can get the infinite energy from the scalar, and you can broadcast over the different part of the world. So you only need one rod to put it in the ground, and your whole house is getting. He figured out how to send the frequencies from the earth, but somehow it's a big, I don't want to speak on it, but everybody knows if I don't speak why it goes down, that project. Of course, because then you don't use cables. Okay. Yes, you are right. Some awareness on it. And he is also responsible for developing this antenna, that doctor. And when you go to airport, you have like a tag on your clothes that sounds like when you don't pay the bills. But if you ever in the airport, if you ever been to the shop where they sell the perfumes, they don't have tag over it. Have you seen that? Anyone can go with just like that, but they have a sticker, and when you peel that sticker, there is an antenna behind it that bounce. This antenna doesn't use any battery to send signals. They have that resonance phenomena that when you pass out of without paying the bills, it bounce back, and they know how to cancel the field. That's why they can take out the tag. Then he was also doing some project with Nokia, that you can charge your cell phone from the air. From now, I put my phone and it keeps charging from the electromagnetic waves. They use the scalar principle, but I know this the company which makes that chip, and they have a lot of research on it, and they actually succeed in that. That you can, because the scalar is from the 5th dimension, and we are the 3rd dimension, and scalar is empty space in between the cell and protons and the universe. So it's an infinite energy. So you should know how to use it. And it has also a divine logic. To the scalar itself has a divine logic. He also has developed this instrument where you can put here one medicine, and it will you put the sample. Like for example, is my paracetamol, and I want to copy in this. I put it here, and the paracetamol frequency or information comes into this, and I don't have to pop the paracetamol. That's what we are actually doing with SFI. And I have just received the testimony from one doctor in Chennai. She has been tested more than 50 drugs successfully on the patients, and she was really happy with the result, because she could make homeopathy with a different potency out of it. So here is our SFI, and we use the same kind of antenna here. It has a 5 ton in the back and 49 ton coils, and more than it can do a lot of things apart from the copying the frequency or information. We use information basically. We don't use energy. We don't use chemicals, because we use at primary level. The SFI, let's say Scalar, we work at primary level. We don't work at physical level. That's why we are not interfering with the FDA and all that things, because FDA wants to cover the energy medicine in terms of acupuncture. They want to put a legalization. But we work at the information level. And if you change the information, you can change the reality. So we don't work on the, let's say, diabetes. We don't work on diabetes. We work on the cause. We change the cause, the result is change. Like that. So you can put the different information, you can change the reality. And it's more like a conscious interactive technology, but it's not like you put the button and it wash your clothes like that. It's interact with your consciousness. And when it interacts with your consciousness, then we move more into this stuff. Then we know how to use the information. Likewise, we know how to use the electricity. Like if we know the electricity, we could burn the people, as well as we can cook the food. So likewise, if you know how to use the information, we can use to change the reality in the physical plane. We could work on the weather. We are working on the environment, and I will show you in the next presentation the quantum agriculture, how it works on the agriculture, where a lot of reports are there, and we can work on any, because everything in this universe has a resonant phenomena, or they emit their field, and we can catch with this SFI. So we use the same coil inside it, like this. I have more detail. This is our scalar coil we use in the SFI. These are some circuitry. It's not empty, but we have a lot of circuitry inside, and it is developed by, I'll show you who has developed it. So you have more inside the information. So that's called the information. And what is the radionics? So I think some people knows already. 10 minutes. Oh, okay, I have to finish fast. Okay, so I'll go a little bit speed. Like everything is made of energy, and only with energy we could renew, balance, or transform. So radionic is one of the most advanced scientific method in the world. This method allows you to explore, interact, diagnose, or cure by balancing the etheric field or subtle field from the different bodies of the physical structure. Like you can interact with the field which is coming from the different environment. Now what's the foundation? Because it's important you should know what's the foundation. So basic theory and practice is that humans and all life forms shares the same principle. That principle dictates that everything has lives or live with our planet is immersed in the electromagnetic field, and also every living being is its own field which surrounds it. So this field is, everyone has surrounded by this field. So energy is not created, destroy, or transform. So there's a law of conservation of energy. So based on this scientific law, we could say everything is energy, and energy is the information. Okay. And taking this as a foundation, radionic science provide organ, disease, remedies have their own particular frequency or vibration, and we can use that numbers that represent. Like for example, you have a problem in liver, we give the information to body how to chi energy, how to work on the liver. So you send the information, and next taken care by the. So actually the instrument is not curing. Instrument is used to send the information. And it's distance always. We don't use in SFI. We don't use any electrodes or like harness. And this is a Dr. Albert Abraham. He is the main founder of. He is the main who has discovered this science. That he was born in San Francisco in 1863, and one of the first physician, most highly qualified specialist in their time, graduate from the University of California. He has wrote several medical textbooks. and then he has specialized in nervous system, the disease of nervous system, and then he discovered that something relation of the disease with your field, and then he's doing more research on it, and then he could find the rate. He could deal out the rate. That I will explain more, because if I get 10 minutes more I could go little bit slow, because it's a very. So what he did is, I tell you, in olden days, yes, thank you very much. In olden days, we don't have a stethoscope. They put like they tap it, and there's some sound is coming out of it. Okay, that was the old. So when he is getting the patient, he was tapping the sound. So let's say when he was sitting here and the patient comes here and he tap and the sound has comes, and he noticed that, okay. But next day when the same patient comes in, that patient stands here and the sound has shifted. So he thought there should be something with electromagnetic field with earth and all that. So what he did is he developed this instrument, small instrument. It's called ERA. It's very famous, electronic reaction of Dr. Abraham. And what he did is he take the patient and then he turned the knob, and then he at this particular number the resonance is coming on, so he's noting down it. So every time the patient, like the patient was suffering from cancer or some disease who cannot walk, they comes in and they said there should be some relation of the electric field. So what he did is he took the saliva sample of the patient and give it to the healthy person to hold in the hand, and did the same experiment, and he got the same sound. But although that patient doesn't have that disease, so he could say that if we can measure, we could balance it by sending the same rate. So we called in radionics, we call it rates. It's by numbers. Like Jacqueline said, I use his lot of rates of Dr. Grobovi, and that's rate. Now, no matter where you use with your mind or with the information, or we use with the scalar, because scalar is a pure information, so we give the body the information. Like yesterday someone is showing the piano example, like they are, so same way we are sending the information to your DNA. So no matter, you don't have to worry about it to get the results. So the principle is like everything is perpetual motion, then they vibrate or oscillate, then the oscillation of matter that produce some frequency or resonance when the proton is like they vibrate. Okay, so this frequency emit and receive information with which organize and material in the different energy field. So biofrequency and molecular bioresonance can be transformed or altered, such as radio frequency modifying the information and thus changing the energy field that emanate. So like in DNA we send a sound and we change the information. So sound is like we send the information. Like in radio, you don't know who is broadcasting what now. So like that. Also in radionic rates is used to filter. Like we have a different rate for the organ, we have a rates for the virus, we have a rate for the fungi. So we isolate that we want to test only the virus, nothing else like that. So we know how they are doing it. So radionic purpose is to motivate and stimulate the potential of self-healing and natural regeneration through the renewal of the structural memory of bioenergy field. Like we restructure by the right information. Let's say people say allopathy has a lot of side effect, but why it has a side effect? Because it has a molecular structure. There's a different information, and when you pop up the paracetamol, you get the result, but you give wrong information to your cell, and that's why you are getting into side effect. Okay, so everything has like Dr. Emoto has explained like water information, like prayer, all that things. So I don't have to explain that. Now broadcast is based in the quantum physics principle, which tells us that each and every one of us element that forms a single body and involved and also participate creating the energy field. So when you take out the single, in very simple way, when you take out the sample from the original field, and if you do something with the sample, your body, because it's your sample, so your body is also has to be respond. They did one research, I will show you on plants with EEG. This one already explained. This one I already explained, that hollow sound, how he's doing it on the patient. And down below you see that he was measuring the A, B and C, the standing. Now this is his instrument where he developed the rate. Now this is very important. This person, Dr. George Delavar, he has developed the instrument in which if you, and I have photo but I am not finding in my computer. In USA he did one patient came to his clinic and he was suffering from the pain, and when he took out the X-ray with a hair sample in the distance, he found that the doctor has forget the scalpel in the stomach, and when he went for the X-ray, exactly that came out. But this was again is gone down like other scientists. This is one of the famous men, Galen, Dr. Galen Hieronymus, and what he did is he developed the instrument. He called it like alloptic energy. This is also a scalar field. And what he did is he took the photo of the astronauts, which goes from here to moon, and he measured his vital sign from every minute, like 500 pages, and he sent to NASA, and then it matches page by page by page. And he is also responsible for so many research, and one of the famous is like the cellotape what you are using at the DHL, like the DHL what using before when they stick on it, the gum has been, it's not proper sticking. So what they came to this guy and they say, what can you find it? And then he said there is a certain amount of bacteria who could eat the glue, and then when you remove with some chemical process, and finally you have all your DHL tips. There is a lot of story on particular this guy. It could take 1 or 2 hours for speak on it. His contribution on that. And this is a Dr. Willard Frank. He's a physician in PhD, physicist in PhD, and then he has developed the first instrument called digitron, and then it was used to measure the metal content in the without mining. He could measure that how much gold is there, how much is before when there is a computer was not started. He was called a digitron, and then he has developed SE5. Then the SE5 plus comes in, and then finally we have this with us. This is the so it already developed, I think so 80 years back, and it passed from generation to generation. So there's a lot of science behind it. Okay, so I spoke before that we work at the primary level. So let's say when the soul has to come on the earth, he has some purpose. He needs the gravity. So he comes with some purpose. Then only you can sustain on the earth. Okay. Then there is a causal and archetype. So these are the fields. Okay. So right now I will show you in the pyramid way that okay, some people goes for organism and organ therapy. Okay, let's say organ replacement. If something has a problem, so it starts with organ replacement. So when you repair the organ, you repair the down below the level. You're replacing the liver. That's why you are healing that. Now, if you work at the tissue level, it repairs the organ and it goes down. Okay. If you work at the cellular level, it goes to tissue, it goes to organ, it goes to down. Now chemical. This is allopathy comes in. Chemical like what we are popping, and then it goes down cellular like and then gives a lot of side effect. That's this is the electrical field, like what we used to do physiotherapists. We use acupuncture, electrical acupuncture, IFT, and we can say that ultrasound and all that thing. This is the nuclear, this like chemotherapy and all that comes, and then after that it affects. If you use the bad energy, it affects same way. It heals as well as like duality. Okay. Now this is like photon. The color therapy stands here. When you do send the photons, it goes like this, the down below. Now vector as I explained, but we work at here. So we give the information and it goes down, 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 and then finally there is a physical reality. And like after above there is also a lot of dimension, but we don't work there. So this is one experiment done on the seeds, that you can see that the seeds which is balance. This is balance and this is not balance. This is 1990. They did in 1990. So we give the information to seeds that okay, we like you change the information and they will work like that. So some people say it's a placebo. So we say okay, in human if I say okay, this is a nice pills, you please take, and then you because of placebo you are getting the result. But if I go to plant and say okay, this is a nice water, you should take it. So plant doesn't understand this, right? So that's why I want to show the agriculture, because they understand the information, they don't understand the placebo. This is one more we did experiment. Like this is not balance, 28 days, and this is balance with. Now this is one institute in Germany. They have a lot of SE5s, the old SE5. What they did is they took the sample from the farm, and they put it in the SFI, and they did a lot of balancing, and they did some research, and they say the balance, this was like in graph, the balance with SFI, this one, and not balance, and the percentage of leaf loss study, and it's done in 1989 to 1990, and it was all published in American, that USPA, something called US, I forget the name, but they had published it. They published it that this thing work, and then the fertilizer company came in, and then 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 this is one they did on the plant. They are noticing the this signature from EEG, and when the moment they start, they record it from distance. At what time they start SFI, the same time at the distance the plant responded, the same time, not a 1 second loss. And this is, we know this is normal plants, but this is IDF of the plant. This was the plant, and this is its IDF. IDF is called intrinsic data field. We call it intrinsic data field. It's a scientific term, but you call it information from your, what information I am receiving. Likewise, what information you are sending me. Right now also you are sending me some information. So like we can record. Yeah, you can say aura, but this is like aura is this one. You see out, which is coming out. But this is actually representation IDF of that plant. Now we did, there is also research did on this flower. They put this in the water, and when did in the microscope, it looks same like this. There is one more interesting coming out. So this information is like, it carries, the water carries the information of this plant. This is also one study did in USDA, and the result was 81% of Japanese beetle control based on damaging silks. So like they did a lot of, and they found that okay, this technology is better than the fertilizer. Okay, so why they there is also research, there is a lot of big research going on it, and they say that when there is a invader comes to the plant, you should not remove it, because when your soil is so much damaged, the plant sends signals to the invader. They come and eat me because I'm not able to deliver what I meant for. Because anything in the as per the law, anything which is not able to deliver, they should not be there. So that's why they are calling, and we are doing wrong thing. So that's why it is all getting reversed. So first you need to work on the soil, and then work on the plant. This is another study they did on this beetle control. 82% of the control of Japanese beetle has did. This is one article I found, I got from our national newspaper, Gujarat. They put this writer. This is not a paid. First of all, this is not a paid article. The is from Baroda, my SFI user in Baroda, and then this person has some of his family member has some issues, and then we went to this practitioner, and they got the amazing result. So he thought that let me put this article just for awareness. This is one we got in Life Positive, like radionics healing the world. Okay, now what we did in India is food preservation, because that was all experiment did in out of, but what we did in India, that was done in the Pyramid Valley, and what they did is there's a control sample. We did it with subtle energy, like the physical pyramid and virtual pyramid, the information of the virtual pyramid. So this is a control sample, 26th April and 4th July, like it has gone down without doing anything. This is the virtual pyramid which is started, and then it's keep fresh. I'll show you the last report. This photo we have used it, and the physical pyramid. Now this tomato doesn't survive much in physical because there is a lot of heat inside the pyramid, because that also has an effect on it. But then we have this SE 51000 radionics that started 26th and finished on 4th July 2016, and they also have the taste report, and the last tomato after 123 days it still stays there, and after they cut and they eat it, and the taste was same. And this was the how they did appearance, and the last one, this is the winner of the end of the study. Okay, this one is done by one of my user in India. He shows that okay, let me broadcast the water tuning to the plant, and I don't give water to plant. And he did it for 1 month without water, and you see the result. This was not a single drop of water has been given, but after 30 days we have to give something, because at least the information, the water is, because it can use for where there's a less water conservation, so you can use this thing. So he did, and he sent me like this. This is not this was his out of his curiosity. Now this one, what did on water? Cut flower experiment. There's a normal tap water. This is charged water. This is a time lapse video. So one goes down. There it is. So now finally this goes down one flower. Finally it goes down, because you cannot sustain for a lifelong, but it is good where people need to send flower out of India and they want to keep it fresh. And then flower with the charged water like 14.5 days, and the flower with the normal like 11 days they survive. So this was the study. So that's good. Yes, because we have a lot of tunings. If I have time in afternoon, I will show. When you guys are doing meditation on the bowl, I took the picture, and then I will now in front of you, if I have time, I will scan it and I will just check the general. Because in SE5 we have a protocol, we don't use group, because when you use the group photo, the IDF is interfering with each other. So I don't know which IDF coming from where. So like we have a person with a white background, there is a certain protocol that we teach in the training. And this guy is from the China, and in 2016 this guys is like they did real medical study on this, and they have 183 SE5, and this is they opened the institute in China, and they do a remote balancing, and they do free of cost, because of they want to do a lot of research for the people. And I will show you in the presentation like how it is going to affect the people with real medical studies and MRI images. So that's how they are doing, and how they are converting the whole agriculture into quantum agriculture, and converting their whole traditional Chinese medicine into digital format. And without medicine they are giving their, so like if they want to give the tiger bone medicine, now it's obviously it is banned in China because of law, but they are getting the same result with that digital. They put it in the, like I will show you that because now I'm going to finish also, it's almost going to finish now. This is one, this comes in my mind. This is what my creation, it comes from. I thought technology should be handy for everyone. It should not be complicated. And like, okay, if I am a trainer, I have to sit and do. But if normal person wants to reach me, so many people are there who needs the help. How can they do it? So I has created called SE5 server. This is called Quantum Global Networks, and we made everything is online. I will show you in the afternoon that anyone from anywhere can access SE5 healing with their mobile phone. Yeah, no, it's a website. I have not created app yet, but it's like it's a website if you want to take it, and I will show you the video. But basically, what's it? You have to create a profile. You have to put upload your photo as per the protocol, and then you select our programs, ready-made programs, what we have. I have uploaded there already, but there is no scan. You cannot diagnose because there is no one to answer for you. If you want to know what is the reason for my knee pain, there is no one on the cloud to answer you. But you can do. Let's imagine that you are traveling in airplane and you want to get rid of e-smoke. You just go and you just run the command, and because it's a quantum. And it's not intent. We don't use like in Reiki. We sit and we do it. But in this, it's a real. We integrate them because we have 12 hardwares already there, which serves ready to serve you. So when you put the photo, we send it to that hardware, and we run that information on you. So it's not app-based healing. There are so many apps I know that you put it and they said we are doing healing. But this is not app based. This is a real conscious. Your conscious wants what you want, and that's how you are connecting with the server. And this is the website, qsserver.com. And right now I have 300 users already there. They are using from all over the world. So like it's for everyone. So I am basically a technocrat. So I want to make things handy. Like it should be helpful for everyone. Should not be complicated. And this is my server. This is how like 10 is the running like this. Like we have 10 SE5s there. Like this is the circuit inside. And then you can go to this, and I'll show you on the website also how I actually do balancing on myself, and you're going to see it, how I do it. It's very easy. So this is what the main foundation of what's the Scalar. I try to inform you that I try to give you as much as information, what is the technology behind it, how we work, and in the afternoon you're going to witness a lot of interesting things and research on it. But what I feel that you should have clear your foundation, what you are using, you should have the scientific background on it. So this is a free book. You can get more information if you go to the website. You will get this free book from there. So I finish my talk here, and I think I have finished my presentation. Actually, I want to throw a lot of information also, but I still have one more hour in the afternoon. So I am going to show you quantum agriculture plus how they converted the whole. So like I have an idea that why can't we do for Ayurveda? If they do for the TCM and they are working, why can't we do for Ayurveda? It's a huge subject. And then one of my product called the frequency resonance healing device, where you can actually with the sound frequency how you can heal your disease, and with some video proof. And then afternoon I will show you some testimonials also. And this is one testimonial I got from one of my user in Pune, that he was having the old Hieronymus machine, like 2 dial, which I show. Then he got SE5 with me in 2013. Now he is actually servicing more than 38 countries, and he has fulfilled 625 cases successfully. And most of his clients are for American actor, American actresses, producer, fashion model from UK, authors, and high-profile American diplomats. And he is very successful in all these cases. What he has did, like anti-aging, emotional cleansing, and hair loss. And I have some of his images as well. This is what before and after. The hair grow, what he did for the client. And this one more, what he did. So there is a lot more thing going on, and Pyramid Valley is also doing a lot of thing. Rita Mahajan is also doing a lot of thing, and I think Ivy Reddy will be if he is here, yeah. Dr. Ivy Reddy, you could share what you are doing with this. So I hope everyone knows what is the science behind it, what is the now you raise, and then after that tomorrow how it is. And then workshop, if you want to join me in tomorrow's workshop, I will do some presentation on some people and give you some more information and give you some holograms as well, that with information you can try it on it. And thank you very much for listening me, because
giving an excellent information on SC5. And in fact, I have been working with this SC5 for a quite long time, around more than 5 years, ever since I have been there in the Pyramid Valley as the managing trustee. And these people were telling that through radionics this can be done, that can be done, and all those things. But I too have my own suspicions about the functionality of this area radionics. And I had some few hibiscus plants in my compound. Some of them are not growing properly. I was not knowing about that, how to tune and all those things. I sat with one of my assistants who was working with the MedLab. We call it as a MedLab in the Pyramid Valley. We have got a lot of machines like this. I sat with him. I got it tuned to my plants with a photograph and all these things. After a few days, I have observed that it is growing healthily. That was my first testimony how the SC5 works. I had pictures in the Pyramid Valley also, Limit Lab also. I don't have right now. Yeah, I did it on the borewell also, where the recharge of the water was very less, and we could improve the recharge of the water in the Pyramid Valley, where there was a lot of scarcity. And we have worked on this termite also, because the termite were eating like anything, all the wood and all these things. We could get some results, but not satisfied with that. Probably there may be some deficiencies in tuning and all these things. As far as the agriculture is concerned, I have worked personally for 2 years in 2 acres of farm by transmitting the energy as well without application of any fertilizers, not even organic manure or anything. And I got amazing yields, and I have got the statistics that a farmer who is having 2 acres of land, if he can grow the vegetables where wife and husband can work together without employing any labor, they can lead a better life than any software engineer. I got the statistics, because just for experimental purpose, I have employed 2 labor and I have experimented it, and it is beyond the doubt that a farmer where wife and husband works in the farm of 2 acres, they can lead much, much better life, stress-free life than any of the software engineer. That is one case. Another case, and our sir has asked how it works on the human beings and all these things. I have a very, very recent case where one of my known friends' brother has met with a fatal accident, and this operation has been conducted on the spine and the plate has been inserted, and he was bedridden. And his own relative was a famous orthopedician who has given the impression that he cannot walk before 1.5 years. And his sister is known to us, and he has immediately called me and requested whether he can support through SC5. Then we got all the medical reports, including the this X-ray. Then I have shown to Rita, because Rita is expert in the distance viewing and all those things. Then I have shown to her all this X-ray and medical report. Rita has expressed, this is a very, very difficult case. IV, all your efforts may go waste. Anyway, because she has requested, we have got the obligation, then we have to do it. And surprisingly, within 2 weeks, a man who could not stand even for a minute, he could stand for more than 15-20 minutes, and he could sit, and within 1 month he got up and he started walking through this walker. Now I can show you the video. Within 5 months, without even stick, he is walking, but there is some little limping. Yeah, I will show you the video also. And one more classic case I have done is a wife of my own friend who was my colleague, and her kidneys were failure and stents were inserted in both of the kidneys. And she has been given a lot of allopathic drugs. She was in the bed in the hospital. Just me and my wife went to see her. They have not requested because they are very close to me. And I have seen her, a fair lady, has become very black because of the drugs and all. Then I requested whether I can do through SC5, because they have readily accepted. I took a photograph, then I started doing transmission of energy and all these things. Now if you can see her photograph, you will be surprised that she gained 90% of her original color. Stunts are removed, all these things. These are my practical. There are so many other examples are there where I have worked. These are the 2 classic examples where without the interference of our Rita and DNA reprogramming, few more cases are there. Normally what we do is, when we get the medical report, Rita views it and does the first DNA reprogramming, and then I start doing on the other machines. But here 2-3 cases where she has expressed her doubt that these are the very critical cases, and I did on my own, because the therapist who is working, operator who is working, must have the confidence that this can work. Otherwise what happens, it interfaces with our energy. That energy interferes and you don't get the results. Yeah, basic requirement is that an operator must have the conviction that this scalar energy works. Otherwise, definitely you will be transmitting your own doubts, negative energies, and all these things, because we are interacting with the consciousness and the energy. That affects. We are not interacting with any physical body. That's the reason. Because that's my fundamental request, basic request, if any operator, anybody wants to work with SE5 is that he must have the conviction. He must be convinced first. That is how I did. First we experimented on my plants. I got the results. When the plant and the animals are getting the results, why can't the human beings can get? And the human beings, many of them do not get the results because they keep on applying their logic mind here, doubting everything. Samsaya atmanam nasukam. Where there is doubt, there is no result, please. Recipient also must be willing and must have the open mind. Yeah. Consent is required. It takes some time. Longer time it takes. Because as a Reiki master, I also worked with many of the clients. I got the fast results who are open and ready to receive the energy. But those who are negative and skeptical, we got the results but delayed. This is how the energy works. Thank you.
See, to give you this answer, I'll give you in the next step. Now only I will give you, but first to make a note of what he said about agriculture. Last year we had invited a speaker named Luty Larson. She was expert in using this technology since 40 years. Okay, and then she has her own farm, and what she did is like, for example, one fruit. I actually forget the name of the fruit or flower. It has a cycle of 45 days. He deliver like after 45 days the fruit will come. After the next, but what she did is like she has her own way. She has her own tuning. What she did is she reprogrammed the plants to deliver 2 times in 45 days. So she get more yield. And very old lady. Only in agriculture. She is specialist in agriculture. She is not specialist in health. Okay, and I just I have to finish his answer as well. And also I was I'm doing a lot of training for SE5 as well. I have a training called Astro Radionics, where this, if I have in afternoon, I will show you that we have a saying that yat pide tata brahmanda, means we are the universe. But with the scientific, with the DNA, with the calculation, it's just a 2-minute slide, but I will show you in the afternoon. So the thing is that you should first know the technology, how to use it, the protocols. Like in medical, we have a protocol. So once you know protocol, you do a small experiments, do on agriculture like I already did. And then slowly, because everyone cannot be like, to answer you, everyone cannot, someone become like, some of my users are like, they are just like this, that guy which I show you, the American, he was already working on radionics quite long time. So I just train him, and in 1 week he has developed his own protocol. Like Ivy has his own protocol, everyone has his own protocol. So my job is to train you and reach you, and from here you need to choose whether you want to go in agriculture, you want to go in Vastu, you want to go in mantra therapy, you want to go in affirmation. Lot of things you can do with it. Because what I do is, when I take one client, I send first formal session of affirmation, that in his or her subconscious mind, that I am okay, I am willing to accept, or everything, like just a general affirmation. So likewise you have to do it. So it comes into training, but that's how we go with it. It's a science, it's a conscious interactive technology, not just like you jump in and like what you did. When you work on it, some people become expert in 6 months, some take 1 year, some 3 months. It depends on how your skills of accepting and applying. Like some old man of one of my old user, he don't use computer, he only use manually with it. But some like young men, they know how to use with a computer. So you know how you apply your protocol, that's important. This is costing is like, including what we do is including tax and GST, it is coming 4,60,000. And then That's support. What we training is there, and we support. Like once you buy it, we train you personally for 5 years, and we still train you with your doubts. And then we have advanced training workshop where the developer is coming, and we also invite some experts, like some are agriculture, some are in light therapy, like 3 days, 4 days that we are doing every year. Last year it was in Pyramid, this year it was in Pyramid Valley. So like that it is, it's like science, like radiology, like is US. Yes.
Can you provide a driver with the machine, I mean car with the driver? So I need it for 5 hours for my farm. Can you send somebody?
Then you can use my server.
Yeah. No, I don't have to. It'll take me years and I may not even get to the goal.
Driver, because that you have to find who wants to.
Please understand the concept. The concept is like Uber, right?
Yeah.
I come to you, or you tell me where to go, and you send this machine together with somebody who knows the protocol, like Ivy, who's in this business, who comes to my farm for 4 hours or 5 hours, wherever it is, does his job and carries on to the next farm.
Yes, it's possible.
Yeah,
it
right.
It depends on your location. I have a user in Delhi as well. But
not a user, it has to be an operator.
They all are operator.
Okay,
user
fine.
is operator. Some are
Okay.
experts, some are there.
So this should be a paid service and it
yeah,
should be
that you have to
professionally
talk
done.
with them. What charge they might take. My job is to train the people, not to.
No, that's the disconnect. Somebody has to look at it from
No, let's say for Delhi.
the top.
If you want me, someone cannot come from Gujarat to come there, because you don't need come there. It's distance.
No,
I can
see,
do it from anywhere.
if you are sitting on a breakthrough, right? But if you do not plan the breakthrough properly, you will just be all over the place. Yeah.
No, what I do is, let's say
So-
someone from
No, no,
Bangalore
ju-
wants
just,
help.
Just listen. So when you are sitting on a breakthrough and when you want to hit the marketplace and make a big impact and change the paradigm, you have to be very organized like an army. Right?
Yes.
Not like, Lulu Bhudu's hanging around all over the place.
Yes.
So you have to think like that. That's the point
It's
I'm trying to
already
make.
what we are doing is, let's say for example, you are from Delhi. So we already have a driver in Delhi. Why you want driver from my place?
Sir,
Okay.
Dr. Suhasa, it's just very simple. You have the one who have given the machines and everything. So you know whom all you have given exactly.
Yes.
So whichever the Bangalore people who are there, you can connect to them.
Yeah,
Or
I can connect.
You can do that. Actually, I think, sir, we can discuss with people and then do about it.
Yeah.
So
I
that
can do
main
is there.
person is there. Wherever the links are, actually it is there, he will be knowing it. We may not be knowing. Who knows?
And
You
for
may
the-
having in your own area also. So they can help it. The cost part and everything, people can discuss about it little later part. And
Yeah,
then
in
go
maybe
ahead, sir.
panel
You
discussion,
wanted
I
to
can
share,
give
I
you
think,
more
sir.
answer on.
He wanted to share.
I'll close my speech
This
here.
part we can
Okay,
take it little
thank you.
later, sir.